a message from a dead man, a masked killer who escaped an asylum, and a villain whose motive has nothing to do with revenge, survival, or obsession with horror movies. Scream 7 looks like a return to familiar territory, but hidden inside that familiarity is something the franchise has never done before, and most people walked out of the theater without fully clocking it. Let's slow it down. Welcome back to Movizo, where we don't just watch movies, we take them apart frame by frame. Today we're inside Scream 7, the film that brought Neve Campbell back and introduced a villain whose motivation is genuinely unlike anything this franchise has ever attempted. If you've seen it and felt like something was slightly off about the ending, this breakdown is for you. Here's what everyone's talking about. Stu Macher is back from the dead, except he isn't. That's the misdirect the entire film is built around. The eerie message Sidney receives, the apparent resurrection of a killer she watched die decades ago. It's all an AI deepfake, fabricated by Marco, a supervisor at the mental institution, to send Sidney spiraling. But here's the layer underneath that reveal that's easy to miss. The deepfake doesn't just imitate Stu. It cycles through multiple dead Ghostfaces. Dewey Riley, Nancy Loomis, Roman Bridger. It's essentially a greatest hits reel of Sidney's trauma, weaponized against her psychologically before a single real kill even happens. The horror in Scream 7 starts in the mind, not with a knife. The actual Ghostface killing spree doesn't begin until Sidney is already destabilized. She's chasing a ghost, literally, while the real threat operates right next to her. And that real threat is Jessica, her neighbor, someone physically close, emotionally invisible, and completely off the suspect radar. What makes Jessica genuinely unsettling is her motive. She didn't have a personal vendetta against Sidney. She read Sidney's autobiography, became convinced that surviving extreme trauma was the secret to success, and decided to engineer her own version of it, starting with murdering her own husband. When that didn't unlock whatever she was looking for, she found Sidney, partnered with Marco, and orchestrated an entire killing spree designed to put Tatum through the same gauntlet her mother once survived. She wasn't trying to destroy Sidney, she was trying to replicate her. That's a new kind of Ghostface, not a grieving parent, not an obsessive fan of horror movies. Someone who read a memoir and decided trauma was a ladder. This is where Scream 7 quietly says something sharp about modern culture without ever pausing to lecture anyone about it. The franchise has always used its killers to satirize something. Slasher movie logic, sequels, reboots. Jessica satirizes the commodification of trauma. The idea that surviving something terrible makes you special, marketable, worth emulating. She didn't want to hurt Sidney out of hatred, she wanted to become her. It's easily the most contemporary motive in the series' history, and it lands because the film buries it under layers of nostalgia and legacy callbacks. You're so focused on whether Stu is really alive that you stop watching The Neighbor. That's the trick, and it works. My read. The AI deepfake subplot isn't just a plot device, it's thematic scaffolding. The film is about false versions of things. A fake Stu, a fake trauma arc engineered by Jessica. Even the mid-credits scene, where Mindy and Chad filmed their own news broadcast, hints at a world where everyone is packaging real horror into consumable content. Scream 7 star isn't just self-aware about horror movies anymore. It's self-aware about what we do with horror stories after the fact. Here's what I want you to sit with. Jessica is the most psychologically original Ghostface the franchise has ever produced, or is she too detached from the legacy to feel earned? New era or wrong direction? Tell me below. Scream 7 gave us the resurrection we expected, and then pulled it away to reveal something stranger and sharper underneath. A villain who didn't want revenge, who wanted a story. That's worth more than one watch. Subscribe to Movizo for the full kills breakdown and ranking video dropping this week. And if this breakdown hit different, you know what to do. See you in the next one.